Hello friends, welcome back to Raju Notes channel. This is the update for the August 2nd part, and as part of the update we had seen the majority of the second week of August was into the Taliban and the Afghanistan crisis. I had done a separate video on this Afghanistan crisis which was unfolding. Probably this should mark the end of that extreme violent turmoil which had been happening in Afghanistan. Now, as we were anticipating, the Panjshir Valley, its resistance should be the area of focus, probably in the first week of September, as we are doing this video. Well, the Indian Air Force evacuation flights took off from Kabul with 85 Indians aboard, and it was the third evacuation flight from Kabul. And these aircrafts were reportedly landed in the Tajikistan for refueling, and thereafter they were transferred back to India. We all know that we have a air base in Tajikistan by the name of Farkhor. Taiwan's foreign minister had accused China of wanting to emulate the Taliban takeover of Afghanistan and said that the island nation does not wish to be subject to communism. Well, he is also clear. We have been saying that Taiwan has been resisting China's expansionism theory for all possible ways, and it is taking no time, rather it is not leaving any stone unturned to bring out to the world the Chinese intention. The Taiwan has complained of increased pressures from China, which is now claiming the territory or that island as its own territory. And in past we have seen so many air violations or air intrusions being done by China over Taiwan. So this topic is still brewing. People say that now America will concentrate its attention onto Taiwan after this withdrawal from Afghanistan. We'll have to wait and see. This for 15 days, there were quite a lot of changes in the drone policies in India, which we had already discussed. And as part of that, a trial run for BVLOS, that is Beyond Visual Line of Sight delivery of medicines, was done through drones in Bangalore. Well, here the two variants of drones were tested and trialed, and there was a beautiful video coverage on the YouTube also, wherein these two drones were seen delivering items, that medical items, over a distance of 3.5 kilometers, which were covered in 5 to 7 minutes. Bangalore, as you know, is the most densely populated traffic area. So this is a very good thing, and the trial was conducted by the company called as Throttle Aerospace System and in collaboration with UDAN. UDAN is that Uday Desh Ka Aam Nagrik, the scheme which connects small towns through aircrafts. The Zydus Cadila is pricing its new COVID-19 vaccine, and it is as of now planning to supply it in mid-September, that is this month, and it is aiming to produce 1 crore dose per month. What is so special about this vaccine? Well, it is the world's first DNA-based COVID-19 vaccine, and it has got emergency use approval in India. So again, a good thing happening. Let's see, hope that it works well, and just know this, that the Zycovid D will be the one which will be using the world's first DNA based COVID-19 vaccine. As of now, the efficacy is being shown as 66.6%. The Pakistan's interest in Afghanistan is to counter India's influence. This is as per a US government report, and the report says that Pakistan continues to support peace talks while maintaining its ties with Afghan Taliban, and it is also to do with Pakistan saying that the Afghan civil war would have destabilizing effects, and it has to look into this matter. At the same time, we have been seeing open admissions by the Pakistani ruling party members claiming that Taliban will help them to take over India and work into the larger frame of Ghazwe-Hind. That idea of Ghazwe-Hind, the entire Hindustan being turned into an Islamic nation. Well, that is the thought process. We should be aware of something like this. There were G7 leaders discussion which happened on Afghanistan, wherein UK had called this meeting, and the British Prime Minister Boris Johnson headed this conference, and he said that it is vital for the international community to work together and ensure a safe evacuation and prevent the kind of humanitarian crisis what is happening in Afghanistan. And this is just not to lose that gains which have made in last about 20 years. Let's see how much does it help, but I have my own doubts on this. Well, after the Olympics have finished or terminated, now the Paralympics are going on in Tokyo, and 11 Indian members are attending this Paralympics, and we have already good news coming in form of 2 golds and silver already, and we will probably get all the details very soon. But just to know that our 11 members are participating, and we are expecting good results from them. Okay, this fortnight, as per the national policy, this is what is of importance to you. What do you understand by national monetization policy? Well, this national monetization policy was launched by the finance minister Nirmala Sitharaman, and as per the national monetization policy, the center is likely to sell the center's brownfield assets. Now, the second term, what are brownfield assets? Brownfield assets are something like roads and railways. So, center is planning to sell these assets to public-private partnership and make money out of it. But the bottom line is that there will be a mandatory handback of these assets after its due time. Let us say that center will tomorrow sell off the Bangalore railway station to a private player. Suppose Adani buys it tomorrow. He comes up with a proposal, and Adani buys a Bangalore railway station. The center will sell it, and this Bangalore railway station will be run by Adani, and he will upgrade it and use it. But after the mandatory period, it has to be sold back to the government. So that is a kind of a thing. What is this national monetization pipeline, which we see the opposition parties opposing it vehemently, saying that it is selling of the country. So as part of this, we have 15 railway stadiums, 25 airports, 160 coal mining projects, etc. for the sale under national monetization pipeline. So remember this MNP. We have last time we have seen the kind of arsenal what US has left for Taliban, though much of it in non-working condition, but yet we have seen that thousands of Humvees and lot of equipment has been left. But we also discussed a point that okay, even though Afghanistan has the Talibanis have got so much of equipment, how do they work or function with it? The first and basic thing was fuel. So no country is supplying fuel to them. UAE stopped it, but Iran has come to the rescue of Taliban's, and it has started exporting Afghanistan the fuel, and on the request of Taliban. So it is said that approximately $900 per ton last week. It was the price what it has been sold to. Now again, how much does Taliban have the capability to pay back, in what terms it can pay back is a question mark. So what is Iran expecting out of Taliban? Question mark. Also remember that the Iran is the neighboring state of Afghanistan, and probably they must have struck a deal that we will not take any influx of the refugees, or they must have struck a deal on something because of which Iran is giving oil to Afghanistan. Operation Deveshakti is what you should remember. Operation Deveshakti is the name or a name or of the mission given to evacuation of Indians from Afghanistan. And this was announced by Mr. S. Jayashankar, and he saluted the untiring effort of the Indian Air Force, Air India, and said that by far it has evacuated more than 800 people since Taliban had seized power in Afghanistan. India has been a forefront runner in as far as evacuation is concerned, and we should certainly laud the efforts of the armed forces and the Ministry of External Affairs for such a stellar performance as far as taking care of its citizens is concerned. Taliban made out a statement. There were no proof that Osama bin Laden was involved in 9/11 terror attacks. Well, it is, we just can't debate it, but it is a statement which has been put up, so they are justifying this, whatever it may be. And just to know that such kind of a statement has come out. Now, whether Taliban's regime will be recognized by any country once the entire takeover is complete, we will have to wait and watch for that. Taliban has proposed that it will do a peace treaty with the resistance forces in Panjshir provinces, and it says that it will solve the problems in Panjshir, but this was the front face. As on ground, we have seen lots of Talibanis moving on their Humvees towards Panjshir Valley, and Panjshir Valley is putting up a great resistance. It is terminating or killing the Talibani people on its fringes, and in this the US is also supporting them in terms of airstrikes and other things. So this will be an important topic maybe in future as to how Panjshir will gain into prominence in the entire Afghanistan crisis happening. So I think that will be the most important topic here on, like how will be the governance of Taliban, and what will be the role of Panjshir in the overall stability in Afghanistan. China, as we know, is now the most affected in this region because of this thing. Is driving all sorts of things because it has got a lot to lose, more to lose than India, and China will now invariably get involved with the Taliban, and it is good for us. But now here China says, as it has given out a statement, that it has established an open and effective communication with Taliban. And China, it considers Kabul to be an important platform for both the sides, and it says that the Taliban will be given due recognition. But let's again wait and watch what will be the outcome of these meetings. We will have to wait, but because we know that China is only interested in its trade and nobody else. That is what one needs to understand. Amidst all this crisis, if you see, the Afghanistan's trade with Pakistan has increased by 50% post-Talibani takeover. And we know that as of now, the Afghanistan borders and dry ports are controlled by Taliban, and this we can see because right now there is no chance of humanitarian aid pouring in, and if Afghanistan has to sustain, it has to immediately import something, and whatever reserves they have to pay it out. So the Pakistan is trying to fit into that shoe, and it says that it is exporting, or Pakistan says it is exporting everything. Obviously it is, Pakistan itself is a cash ridden state, so it will do anything. Wherever it finds a profit, it will do it. And at the same time, we should know that Taliban had stopped trade process with India, and I think it's okay, because we were doing more of our trade with Afghanistan was more onto the humanitarian side. Again, India's first mRNA COVID-19 vaccine, which is again the country's homegrown mRNA-based vaccine, was developed by Genova Biopharmaceuticals, and it has been given the approval for phase 2 and phase 3 trials. And let's see what is the outcome of that. But overall, you should know that India has surpassed any country on this planet to have vaccinated its population, despite having so much of population. And earlier the record was held by US, but now India is the leader in vaccinating its people with an effective medicine. And if we see, the world still has not recognized the Covaxin, but still the efficacy of Covaxin has been put high even onto the new variants of the COVID-19 virus. Well, we all know that there was a suicide attack which happened on the Kabul airport gates, in which 13 people were killed, including the US armed forces people. And then thereafter, Joe Biden had ordered drone strikes onto the probable suicide bomber who was planning to drive his car onto the gates. That was killed. And he also has vowed to kill anyone or exterminate anyone who was planning to cause harm. So this will happen. And also interesting to note is Pakistan, who has been celebrating the victory of Taliban in Afghanistan, said that now their own kinds have taken over. There will be Islamic law, Sharia law, and now Pakistan will gain some kind of a prominence and importance. They should start realizing that there were already five bomb attacks in Pakistan as of today. So my analysis, which I have been keep on telling, that the things will spill over into Pakistan and Pakistan will soon get into a crisis, is coming true. Let's watch for that. The things certainly will have to boil down and trickle into Pakistan as well. The Talibani spokesperson Zabihullah Mujahid had said that Pakistan is like their second home. Now, we had no doubt on that, because Tehreek-e-Talibani Pakistan is the one which has been there, and the Taliban wants to have good relations with all these countries as per the spokesperson, but you cannot take out that animal-like instincts from Talibanis, irrespective of whether they are in Afghanistan or in Pakistan, because it is combined with its religious fanatism. So that must be kept in mind. US Pentagon has held talks with Chinese military for the first time ever since Joe Biden has taken over in January, and this comes amidst tension between two countries over several key issues. And my biggest guess is now US is having talks for the first time on two aspects. One would be Afghanistan for sure, and second would be Taiwan. Uh, what all could be the backdoor discussions is your guess and my guess, but I would certainly say that one kind of my thinking is one kind saying that US might say that we will stop exerting pressure on you over Taiwan if you look after the Afghanistan and let it not spill over to any other country, or you better come to an understanding as far as these two flare up points are concerned. One is Afghanistan and one is Taiwan. So let's see what does this whole what is the outcome of these talks which have happened. Well, we have already covered this. A lot of equipment, US equipment, NATO equipment is now in the hands of Taliban. Well, which has just started coming in, and probably if you see, there are about 167 aircrafts, including the latest Black Hawk helicopters, and there are about 600,000 weapons, including M16 assault rifles, M4 carbines, and so many things are there in the Afghani Taliban's hands, which are now given by the US indirectly. But now the efficacy, the ways to use it, how long can they use it, can they repair it, that is still a question mark. A new thing, West Nile virus. Remember this word, West Nile virus. If a question comes, or if you hear this term West Nile virus, remember it's a kind of a infection which has mainly transmitted from birds to human beings by a mosquito bite, and this can lead to a fatal neurological disorder. And Russia has warned, because Russia is presently reeling under this West Nile virus, and And the major symptoms are that most people will not feel sick, and in about 1 in 5 days not feel sick, and in about 1 in 5 people they develop fever and other symptoms. And at present there are no vaccines to prevent or no medications to treat this West Nile virus. Remember, West Nile virus, birds to humans through mosquito, can cause neurological disorder, uh, it can develop fever and other symptoms. As of now, no vaccine or no medicine to prevent it. In a statement, Taliban has said that it is not interested or it will not interfere in Kashmir, and they say, Taliban says that Kashmir is not part of their jurisdiction and hence they will not interfere it. And again, he says that the Talibani spokesperson said that he will not only want India but the rest of the world to come and support them in Afghanistan. Well, if you want to take the Taliban might be still saying as a central thing, but we saw that at one point of time Taliban was giving out a statement that they will not harass and oppress women, but on the other hand, the ground level soldiers who have no kind of a training or they don't come under any law were doing the same thing. So Taliban might say that it will not support it, but it has to sustain the Tehrik-e-Taliban party, which is of Pakistan. There are other rogue elements in Pakistan in which will take care of this Talibanis and will certainly try to be of some nuisance value at our western borders. But that has to be kept in mind. But overall, in a strategic way, we have to notice that the Taliban has said that it will not interfere with India. Microsoft has finally launched a new operating system called as Windows 11. We have been using Windows 10, and probably this is the first operating system in 6 years to be launched by Microsoft. This will be launched on October 5th, and Windows 11 will feature a new design with the rounded corners and app icons, the display in the center of the taskbar, along with the redesigned start menu as per Microsoft Store, which we have known. So this will be a free upgrade to all whoever is having Windows 10. However, this will be in a phased manner, like it'll roll out this upgrade in a slowly manner. So probably your computer will one day flash saying that you are upgrading to Windows 11, and I think you should go for it. How will be the stability part and other things we can subsequently check. Amongst all this, India's first official meet with Taliban has taken place in Doha, and the ambassador of India to Qatar, Deepak Mittal, met Taliban representative Sher Mohammad Abbas in Doha and discussed the focus on safety, early return of the Indian national, and the other issues. And India has requested Afghanistan's Taliban that its soil should not be used for anti-India activities, and Taliban has assured these issues, and they say that it will positively look into these aspects. Though if you realized, I have made a very detailed analysis on what should be India's role once Taliban takes over, wherein I had said that India should open its channels with the Taliban directly, because it's high time that we engage it with that. So that has been done, and there are some political parties in India which have taken an offense to this kind of a meeting happening, that now India is trying to recognize a militant group or something like Taliban. So but India has taken a good step, because one should never close the backdoor channels or the diplomatic channels with anyone, irrespective as of their status, because in the politics there are no enemies, there are only time frames for your relations. And finally, the last soldier who from the Afghanistan, marking the end of 20 years war, was clicked to a photograph, and what you see on the screen is the photograph of Major General Chris Donhay, who boarded a USC-17 on 30th of August, and marking the end of the US mission in Kabul. And with him entering the aircraft, that entire withdrawal was done, and so now it is all of the Taliban itself for Afghanistan. Well, that's all, friends, for the first last 15 days of August, and now we will probably have more updates coming in on from the other fields in the first week of September. And if you are new to my channel, I'll request you please subscribe to it. It is a kind of encouragement for me. And if you are already a subscriber, please tell your friends and other people, especially with the students who are taking any kind of a competitive examination wherein your general knowledge and current affairs are required to be updated every 15 days. So my videos come up every 15 days, and I will request you to help me out by getting me more subscribers. And if you like it, do share with others. Thank you so much, and take care of yourself.